out from where the people stream out and plead Allah for forgiveness. Indeed, Allah is all forgiving, all merciful. And when you finish your rites, then remember Allah as you would remember your fathers, or with a more ardent remembrance. Among the people there are those who say, Our Lord, give us in this world, but for such there is no share in the hereafter. And among them there are those who say, Our Lord, give us good in this world and good in the hereafter, and save us from the punishment of the fire. Such shall partake of what they have earned, and Allah is swift at reckoning. Remember Allah in the appointed days, then whoever hastens off in a couple of days, there is no sin upon him. And whoever delays, there is no sin upon him. That for one who has been God-wary, and be wary of Allah, and know that toward Him you will be mustered. Among the people is he whose talk about worldly life impresses you, and he holds Allah witness to what is in his heart, though he is the staunchest of enemies. And if he were to wield authority, he would try to cause corruption in the land and to ruin the crop and the stock, and Allah does not like corruption. And when he is told, Be wary of Allah, conceit seizes him sinfully. So let hell suffice him, and it is surely an evil resting place. And among the people is he who sells his soul seeking the pleasure of Allah, and Allah is most kind to His servants. O you who have faith, enter into submission altogether, and do not follow in Satan's steps. He is indeed your manifest enemy. And should you stumble after the manifest proofs that have come to you, know that Allah is Almighty, All-Wise. Do they await anything but that Allah's command should come to them in the shades of the clouds with the angels, and the matter be decided once for all? And to Allah all matters are returned. Ask the children of Israel, how many a manifest sign we have given them, and whoever changes Allah's blessing after it has come to him, indeed Allah is severe in retribution. Worldly life has been glamorized for the faithless, and they ridicule the faithful. But those who are God-wary shall be above them on the day of resurrection, and Allah provides for whomever He wishes without any reckoning. Mankind were a single community, then Allah sent the prophets as bearers of good news and as warners, and He sent down with them the book with the truth, that it may judge between the people concerning that about which they differed, and none differed in it except those who had been given it, after the manifest proofs had come to them out of envy among themselves. Then Allah guided those who had faith to the truth of what they differed in by His will, and Allah guides whomever He wishes to a straight path. Do you suppose that you shall enter paradise, though there has not yet come to you the like of what befell those who went before you? Stress and distress befell them, and they were convulsed until the apostle and the faithful who were with him said, When will Allah's help come? Look, Allah's help is indeed near. They ask you as to what they should spend. Say, Whatever wealth you spend, let it be for parents, relatives, orphans, the needy, and the traveler. And whatever good that you may do, Allah indeed knows it. Warfare has been prescribed for you, though it is repulsive to you. Yet it may be that you dislike something while it is good for you, and it may be that you love something while it is bad for you, and Allah knows and you do not know. They ask you concerning warfare in the holy month. Say, It is an outrageous thing to fight in it, but to keep people from Allah's way, and to be unfaithful to Him, and to keep people from the holy mosque, and to expel its people from it, are more outrageous with Allah, and faithlessness is graver than killing, and they will not cease fighting you until they turn you away from your religion, if they can. And whoever of you turns away from his religion and dies faithless, they are the ones whose works have failed in this world and the hereafter. They shall be the inmates of the fire, and they shall remain in it forever. Indeed, those who have become faithful and those who have migrated and waged jihad in the way of Allah, it is they who expect Allah's mercy, and Allah is all forgiving, all merciful. They ask you concerning wine and gambling. Say, there is a great sin in both of them, and some profits for the people, but their sinfulness outweighs their profit. And they ask you as to what they should spend. Say, all that is surplus. Thus does Allah clarify His signs for you, so that you may reflect about the world and the hereafter. And they ask you concerning the orphans. Say, it is better to set right their affairs, and if you intermingle with them, then they are your brothers. Allah knows the one who causes corruption from the one who brings about reform, and had Allah wished, He would have put you to hardship. Indeed, Allah is Almighty, All-Wise. Do not marry idolatresses until they embrace faith. A faithful slave girl is better than an idolatress, though she should impress you. And do not marry your daughters to idolaters until they embrace faith. A faithful slave is better than an idolater, though he should impress you. Those invite others to the fire, but Allah invites to paradise and pardon by His will, and He clarifies His signs for the people so that they may take admonition. They ask you concerning intercourse during menses. Say, it is hurtful, so keep away from wives during the menses, and do not approach them till they are clean, and when they become clean, go into them as Allah has commanded you. Indeed, Allah loves the penitent, and He loves those who keep clean. Your women are a tillage for you, so come to your tillage whenever you like, and send ahead for your souls and be God-wary, and know that you will encounter Him, and give good news to the faithful. Do not make Allah an obstacle through your oaths to being pious and God-wary, and to bringing about concord between people, and Allah is all-hearing, all-knowing. Allah shall not take you to task for what is unconsidered in your oaths, but He shall take you to task for what your hearts have incurred, and Allah is all-forgiving, all-forbearing. For those who forswear their wives shall be awaiting for 4 months, and if they recant, Allah is indeed all-forgiving, all-merciful. But if they resolve on divorce, Allah is indeed all-hearing, all-knowing. Divorced women shall wait by themselves for 3 periods of purity after menses, and it is not lawful for them to conceal what Allah has created in their wombs if they have faith in Allah and the Last Day, and their husbands have a greater right to restore them during this duration if they desire reconcilement. The wives have rights similar to the obligations upon them, in accordance with honorable norms, and men have a degree above them, and Allah is Almighty and All-Wise. Revocable divorce may be only twice, then let there be either an honorable retention or a kindly release. And it is not lawful for you to take back anything from what you have given them, unless the couple fear that they may not maintain Allah's bounds. So if you fear they would not maintain Allah's bounds, there is no sin upon them in what she may give to secure her release. These are Allah's bounds, so do not transgress them, and whoever transgresses the bounds of Allah, it is they who are the wrongdoers. And if he divorces her, she will not be lawful for him until she marries a husband other than him. And if he divorces her, there is no sin upon them to remarry, if they think that they can maintain Allah's bounds. These are Allah's bounds which He clarifies for people who have knowledge. When you divorce women and they complete their term, then either retain them honorably or release them honorably, and do not retain them maliciously in order that you may transgress. And whoever does that certainly wrongs himself. Do not take the signs of Allah in derision, and remember Allah's blessing upon you, and what He has sent down to you of the book and wisdom, to advise you therewith. Be wary of Allah, and know that Allah has knowledge of all things. When you divorce women, and they complete their term, do not thwart them, lest they should remarry their husbands, when they honorably reach mutual consent. Herewith are advised those of you who believe in Allah and the Last Day. That will be more decent and purer for you, and Allah knows and you do not know. Mothers shall suckle their children for 2 full years, that for such as desire to complete the suckling, and on the father shall be their maintenance and clothing, in accordance with honorable norms. No soul is to be tasked except according to its capacity. Neither the mother shall be made to suffer harm on her child's account, nor the father on account of his child. And on the father's heir devolve duties and rights similar to that. And if the couple desire to wean with mutual consent and consultation, there will be no sin upon them. And if you want to have your children wet-nursed, there will be no sin upon you so long as you pay what you give in accordance with honorable norms, and be wary of Allah, and know that Allah sees best what you do. As for those of you who die leaving wives, they shall wait by themselves 4 months and 10 days, and when they complete their term, there will be no sin upon you in respect of what they may do with themselves in accordance with honorable norms, and Allah is well aware of what you do. There is no sin upon you in what you may hint in proposing to recently widowed women, or what you may secretly cherish within your hearts. Allah knows that you will be thinking of them, but do not make troth with them secretly, unless you say honorable words, and do not resolve on a marriage tie until the prescribed term is complete. Know that Allah knows what is in your hearts, so beware of Him, and know that Allah is all-forgiving, all-forbearing. There is no sin upon you if you divorce women while you have not yet touched them or settled a dowry for them. Yet provide for them, the well-off, according to his capacity,